The McLaren MP4-12C, later known simply as the McLaren 12C, is a sports car designed and manufactured by McLaren Automotive. It is the first production car wholly designed and built by McLaren since the McLaren F1, which ended production in 1998. The car's final design was unveiled in September 2009, and was launched in mid-2011. The MP4-12C features a carbon fiber composite chassis, and is powered by a mid-mounted McLaren M838T 3.8-litre V8 twin-turbo engine developing approximately 592 horsepower, 441 kilowatts, 600 PS, and around 443 pounds-feet, 601 Nm, of torque. The car makes use of Formula One sourced technologies such as brake steer, where the inside rear wheel is braked during fast cornering to reduce understeer. Power is transmitted to the wheels through a 7-speed seamless shift dual-clutch gearbox. A convertible version of the car called the MP4-12C Spider, renamed the 12C Spider in 2012, is also available. In February 2014, McLaren announced the related 650S, with revised bodywork, upgraded engine and other technical improvements. In April 2014, McLaren announced the end of production of the 12C. Specifications. Design. In 2008, McLaren hired Frank Stevenson as design director for their reborn production car project. As with the McLaren F1, carbon fiber is used extensively in the vehicle to minimize weight. The MP4-12C weighs 1,301 kilograms, 2,868 pounds. Dry. The chassis is based around a F1-style, one-piece carbon fiber tub, called the carbon monocell, weighing only 80 kilograms, 176 pounds. The monocell is made in a single pressing by using a set of patented processes, using biaxial and triaxial carbon fiber multi-axial fabrics produced by Formax UK Limited, with the monocell manufactured by Carbotech in Salzburg, Austria. This has reduced the time required to produce a monocell from 3,000 hours for the F1 and 500 hours for the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, to 4 hours for the MP4-12C. The car has a conventional 2 side-by-side seating arrangement, unlike its predecessor the McLaren F1, which featured an irregular 3-seat formation, front center, 2 behind either side. To make up for this, however, the car's central console is narrower than in other cars, seating the driver closer to the center. Anterior trim and materials can be specified in asymmetric configuration, known as driver zone. Engine. The car is powered by the M838T 3.8-litre twin-turbo V8 engine, designed and developed by McLaren, Ilmor and Ricardo. The design of the engine was based on a racing engine which was designed and developed by Tom Walkinshaw Racing for the IRL IndyCar Championship but never raced. However, other than the 93mm bore, little of that engine remains in the M838T. It produces 592 bhp, 441 kilowatts, 600 PS, and 443 pounds-feet, 601 Nm, of torque. It has a redline of 8,500 revolutions per minute, with 80% of torque available at just 2,000 revolutions per minute. When first announced, McLaren claimed that it would have a higher horsepower to carbon dioxide emission ratio than any internal combustion engine available at the time. McLaren announced a small number of improvements to become available in October 2012. With the option to be retrofitted to existing cars free of charge. The engine now produces 616 bhp, 459 kilowatts, 625 PS, and no change to the CO2 emissions, which remain at 279 grams per kilometer. This power output has also become standard on the 2013 model. The M838T engine is manufactured for McLaren at the Ricardo Shoreham Technical Centre in West Sussex. Transmission. The engine is connected to a 7-speed automatic dual-clutch gearbox made by Graziano Alicon, dubbed the Seamless Shift Gearbox, or SSG. The gearbox features a system dubbed Precog that allows the driver to pre-select the next gear by lightly tapping the paddle. Performance. Drag times. Com posted a YouTube video of a stock McLaren 12C accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds and from 0 to 100 miles per hour in 6.0 seconds. Drag times. Com also recorded a quarter-mile time for the McLaren 12C of 10.27 seconds at 218 km per hour, 135 miles per hour. The third fastest verified time for a stock production car at the time. The manufacturer has a claimed top speed of 207 miles per hour, 333 km per hour. But a top speed of 346.6 km per hour, 215 miles per hour, was achieved in the MP4-12C Spider, which is 3 miles per hour slower than the coupe. The coupe, in reality, can do 218.61 miles per hour, 352 km per hour. It can brake from 200 km per hour, 124 miles per hour, to a complete stop in under 5 seconds. Braking from 100 km per hour, 62 miles per hour, to 0 can be done in under 30 meters, 98 feet, around 7 car lengths. Naming convention. The name's former prefix, MP4, has been the chassis designation for all McLaren Formula One cars since 1981. MP4 stands for McLaren Project 4 as a result of the merger between Ron Denner's Project 4 organization with McLaren. The 12 refers to McLaren's internal vehicle performance index, through which it rates key performance criteria both for competitors and for its own cars. The criteria combine power, weight, emissions, and aerodynamic efficiency. The coalition of all these values delivers an overall performance index that has been used as a benchmark throughout the car's development. The C refers to carbon, highlighting the application of carbon fiber technology to the future range of McLaren sports cars. MP4-12C shares its name with the MP4-12's Formula One car that raced in the 1997 season. This car featured a second brake pedal discovered by photographers to counter understeer on the exit of the corners by selecting the inside rear wheel, similar to the computer-controlled brake steer system of the MP4-12C. In the end of 2012, the name of the MP4-12C was reduced to 12C. That name is usually used when referring to the coupe, the open-top version now being called the 12C Spider. Production. Produced at the new £50 million McLaren Production Centre, which is located next to the existing award-winning McLaren Technology Centre in Surrey. The building is designed to serve as the future production site of McLaren Automotive's road cars. British Prime Minister David Cameron officially opened the building on the 18th of November 2011. All of the major components are produced by external contractors, with only final assembly, paint and inspection, shipping occurring at the McLaren Production Centre. Final assembly starts with the monocell, around which all components are then placed and fitted. Reception. On 10 July 2011, the MP4-12C set the third fastest lap around Top Gear's test track, posting a time of 1 minute and 16.2 seconds. The car was developed and tested by McLaren on the Top Gear test track as part of their product development. Long before its appearance on the show, it was 1.1 seconds slower than the Ariel Atom 500 with the second fastest lap and 2.4 seconds slower than the Pagani Huayra with the fastest lap. The MP4-12C lapped the Nürburgring in 7 minutes and 28 seconds. The MP4-12C won the Middle East Car of the Year award as Best Supercar in 2012 and Overall Car of the Year at the Middle East Motor Awards the same year. Variants: Spider. The 12C Spider is a convertible version of the MP4-12C with a retractable hardtop. Because the coupe was designed from the outset with a convertible version in mind, no additional strengthening was needed for the Spider, and it weighs only 40 kilograms, 88 pounds, more than the coupe. McLaren has worked to keep the Spider's top speed 204 miles per hour, 328 kilometers per hour, close to the coupe's 207 miles per hour, 333 kilometers per hour. Top speed, and up to 196 miles per hour, 315 kilometers per hour, is possible roof down. Meanwhile, the dihedral doors of the coupe are retained. HS. The McLaren MP4-12C HS is a one-off bespoke project of 5 cars from the McLaren Special Operations Division. The HS stands for High Sport, and all 5 cars are owned by one of McLaren's clients. Changes to the HS from the standard MP4-12C include a carbon fiber high downforce rear diffuser, wheel arch louvers, and a modified air brake calibration. The HS also has new lightweight wheels with HS-style polished spokes and carbon fiber vented rear deck and engine cover vents. Reports suggest that the HS has a power increase of around 85 horsepower, 63 kilowatts. The 5 HS were specified in 4 different colors, with numbers #3/5 and #4/5 finished in pearl white and #1/5, #2/5 McLaren orange and volcano orange respectively, and #5/5 finished in sapphire black. The new 650S has many features from the HS Can-Am. The McLaren MP4-12C Can-Am edition is a track-only version based on its GT3 racer. It was unveiled as a design study at the 2012 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. The name is a homage to McLaren drivers Bruce McLaren and Denny Hulme's successes in the Can-Am series in the 1960s to 1970s. The engine will be de-restricted and recalibrated with optimized cooling system, bringing out an extra 30 bhp up to 630 horsepower. No more than 30 examples will be produced at £375,000. McLaren X1. The McLaren X1 is a one-off sports car based on the McLaren 12C and built by McLaren Special Operations (MSO). It was displayed at the 2012 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. It was built for a McLaren customer who already owns a McLaren F1, a Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren and a McLaren 12C. According to Paul Mackenzie, MSO Program Director, the X1 has been developed for the past 3 years. To style the X1, McLaren used ideas from a 1961 Facel Vega, a 1953 Chrysler D'Elegance Ghia, a 1959 Buick Electra, a 1939 Mercedes-Benz 540K and a 1971 Citroën ED-M Motorsports GT3. In December 2010, McLaren announced that they would produce a small number of MP4-12C cars in order for them to compete in the FIA Group GT3. McLaren stated that they will provide maintenance for the cars and will begin racing in 2012 with the CRS racing team. The MP4-12C will be the first car to compete in sports car racing for the company since the F1 GTR. It received its DE Acute BUT with a single-car entry for the Spa-Francorchamps round of the British GT Championship. This was followed by a 3-car entry in the 2011 Spa 24 Hours. Another car was also entered in the GT Cup of the 2011 Macau Grand Prix, driven by Danny Watts. In March 2012, McLaren readied 25 MP4-12C GT3 cars for a full racing season in the 2012 FIA GT1 World Championship, and its GT drivers tested the car on its Dunsfold test track, the same test track as used in the Top Gear BBC television show. McLaren released several promotional videos for the MP4-12C in the lead-up to the racing season, including one of Formula One star Lewis Hamilton driving the car at locations in the US. Compared to the road car, the MP4-12C GT3 produces less power with only 493 bhp, 368 kilowatts, 500 PS. Due to homologation, the car features a new bespoke 6-speed gearbox that is 80 kilograms, 176 pounds, lighter than the road car's 7-speed. Developed with Ricardo, the steering wheel is lifted from the McLaren MP4-24 Formula One car. The car took its first victories in the world at the 2 races of the Circuito de Navarra round of the 2012 FIA GT1 World Championship season, being run by Hexus Racing. Marketing. Tag Heuer produced a limited 1,000 units series of Carrera MP4-12C chronograph wristwatch inspired by the MP4-12C car. The watch was unveiled in 2011 Tag Heuer Mastering Speed exhibition at Halle Secheron in Geneva. Official McLaren Automotive website.